Hi, this is Thomas. Welcome to Trigonometry. Today we're going to learn the three reciprocal trigonometric functions. And these are cosecant, secant, and cotangent. And they are all inverse relationships with the three trigonometric functions we've already learned. Cosecant is 1 over sine. Secant is 1 over cosine, and cotangent is 1 over tangent. Now, to help you keep these relationships straight, since these aren't as commonly used as the main trigonometric functions, cotangent is very similar to tangent. Those you'll be able to associate. Notice that cosecant is the inverse of sine, and those first two letters are not the same. And then with secant, which is the inverse of cosine, those two letters are not the same. So recall that you have sort of an illogical pairing between the first two letters of cosecant and sine, and secant and cosine, and that will help you keep the correct relationships in order. Now let's practice with some calculations. We have our unit circle with radian angle measures on the right side of the screen. So let's calculate the three inverse functions for 3 pi over 4 and 4 pi over 3. 3 pi over 4, the cosecant function, 1 over sine. Looking at 3 pi over 4, I have a sine value of positive root 2 over 2. So the cosecant is 1 over root 2 over 2, which is the same as 2 over root 2, which we can rationalize to root 2. I rationalize the denominator by multiplying by root 2 over root 2, and the resulting simplified value will be simply root 2. For secant, we have 1 over cosine. At 3 pi over 4, the cosine value is negative root 2 over 2. So we start with 1 over negative root 2 over 2, which equates to negative 2 over root 2, which when rationalized equates to negative root 2. And our cotangent function is 1 over tangent. Now, for a general understanding of cotangent, let's think about 1 over tangent. This is 1 over sine over cosine, which is cosine over sine. Cotangent is cosine over sine. So looking at my points at 3 pi over 4, I have the cosine value, negative root 2 over 2, divided by the sine value of positive root 2 over 2, which is negative 1. So these are examples of cosecant, secant, and cotangent. Let's do a second set with 4 pi over 3. 4 pi over 3 has a sine value of negative root 3 over 2. So cosecant will be 1 over negative root 3 over 2, which equates to 2 over negative root 3, which we can rationalize as negative 2 root 3 over 3. We've rationalized by multiplying numerator and denominator by, in this case, negative root 3, resulting in a final value of negative 2 root 3 over 3. Secant of 4 pi over 3. 1 over cosine, the cosine value is negative 1/2. So we have 1 over negative 1/2, which equates to 2 over negative 1, which we can simplify to the value negative 2. And then cotangent. cosine over sine at 4 pi over 3. Cosine is negative 1/2. And sine is negative root 3 over 2. I can eliminate both of the denominators in the improper fraction. Since both denominators are the same, I'll eliminate those and I'll simplify to negative 1 over negative root 3. And I have negative over negative, so my result is going to be positive, and when I rationalize I end up with root 3 over 3. So these are two examples of working through the three reciprocal trigonometric functions, cosecant, secant, and cotangent. And you'll find that they're often helpful in working through trigonometric identities and trigonometric equations, which are two new trigonometry concepts we'll learn about in upcoming lessons.